Welcome back to my garage. It's been a while. In fact, much longer than what I anticipated, as you'll see in this video. I felt I had to create some space for myself to be able to sort my head out. And yeah, so what you're about to see is what I recorded maybe 4 weeks ago, and I was supposed to post that week, but I postponed editing for personal development. Now I'm back. Enjoy. Welcome back to my garage. Last time we made this rotary valve, hopefully low friction sliding surface insert thing for the rotary valve cover. And today we're gonna make a new rotary valve cover, because I made these pockets in here, and there's 3 millimeters from this surface to the bottom of these pockets. They're just ornamental, or at least weight saving, but completely unnecessary for prototyping like this, but looks cool. Anyways, they're in the way of mounting this, because I could just tap into here, but then there wouldn't be enough material for this to fit, because of how I designed it to also be able to fit the engine case, so the bolts wouldn't interfere with anything. And also I would have to make a hefty spacer to have this sit far enough away from the housing for clearance. We're gonna make a new one of these with less material here to accommodate this, and also more material in places where these bolts are supposed to go through. Still pockets though, just shallower. Checking clearance between the workpiece and the set column. The pneumatic plunger pushing on the pull stud is getting worn, needs adjustment. It won't release the tools. And that hole was supposed to go all the way through the stock. I'm not sure why that didn't happen. I have to make a second operation where that happens, because that's the 0 for when I flip it. The reason this didn't go all the way through was that the stock was set to 20mm thickness and it's actually 30. I'm not quite sure why that, how that changed. Probably because I made this piece thinner. Anyways, I realized I have to go inside once again and redo the second operation, the flipped operation again, because now there's more material here than it would have been if the stock was 30mm when it's machined this side, because the part is centered inside the stock. Makes no difference for you. And of course I managed to place the features on this side which accommodates the mounting bolts. Mirrored. Which means there's not enough material behind these holes to properly attach it. Which is a bummer. I think we'll just JB weld it to the JB weld the insert to the cover, and if it doesn't work, we'll just machine it off and then create a new insert of some other material and make sure the holes line up with these things. Looks good though. I use this as kind of a spring alignment tool to align the intake hole, and some tape to keep it centered, and JB weld it. Long story short, there's something wrong with all my files from yesterday. The hard drive is fine and the files are there, but my software can't read the ProRes RAW files. And it's not easy finding a solution for fixing ProRes RAW files, because they're not that widespread. So all the footage from yesterday is lost. You're missing out on revealing the cover after gluing and sanding and drilling and tapping and all that stuff. And installation, startup. And luckily it didn't work. Like, it runs just as bad as before, which is really puzzling. I really can't understand what's going on now. Business as usual. I think we'll have to reinstall that reed valve intake with the valve in there now. And if it runs, well, it's definitely not friction. It doesn't seem to have much friction either. And really can't. It's really puzzling. Let's reinstall the reed valve and see how it behaves. Actually, let's start it up now, and hopefully this footage will be okay, and you can see how it behaves now with the new cover and the low friction frying pan thing. Just as bad as before. I did switch out the ignition trigger. Let's just confirm timing before we reinstall that reed valve intake and see how it behaves. Nothing. I'll space out my trigger a little bit. It might be registering the surface that's not cut out. We'll see. See if it helps. There's no spark. I realize I've put this the wrong way around. Okay. Now let's see how it behaves. Sitting at 10 degrees, which is what it's supposed to be sitting at. Reed intake. reed valve outside the rotary valve. So it's running slightly better with the reed valve outside the rotary valve. It's actually running like it will stay running on its own, and I can like manipulate it a slight bit. It's really puzzling. Like, there shouldn't be anything wrong with valve timing or clearance, or like there doesn't seem to be much friction. Maybe I've set valve timing completely off and I just haven't realized yet. Maybe I'm thinking wrong in some way. I'll have to remove the carb and double check again valve timing, because this is really weird. Because if I remove the valve, like when we realized there was something fishy going on here, it runs much better. So with this exact setup but no valve in there, then it runs much better. That led me to think it was friction. And it might still be friction, but it seems unlikely. So this is really puzzling. I'll remove the whole carb assembly and double check timing. It seems like I've set clearance way too high. Way too high. I thought the valve was binding when I this might be it, actually. Clearance is a lot. I didn't check that when I assembled. I thought it was binding and I installed a 0.6mm gasket, which actually would be excessive if it was binding. Let's assemble without that gasket and see where we're at. I'm hoping this is it. The non-stick surface is still there. Let's remove the gasket and see where that sets us. Well, now the valve is binding. Well, how's that possible? It's not binding there. Not here. Like there's a millimeter gap here, but it's binding somewhere else. What the hell? What have I done? This is our problem. This is our problem. It's not. I didn't make enough clearance for the screws. I didn't take these bolt heads into account when I redesigned this. Luckily, it fits in this. It fits this way. Now it opens earlier and closes earlier. Well, we'll have to make a new valve, but let's start by trying this. Now it should be better for low RPM, opening earlier and closing a little bit earlier. Let's try it like this. And let's check clearance now. We're talking like a millimeter of clearance, which is far too much, but it should run better now. And I could always machine this surface. We'll have to machine down the surface on the cover now. Let's see how it behaves. I think we're onto something here. But we'll have to make a new rotary valve to bring it back to normal valve timing. We also have to either machine down the mating surface of the housing or make an insert like the frying pan insert on the cover to take up more space and bring rotary valve clearance into spec again. Should have been in spec, but and there should be clearance for the bolts and stuff, and my focus hasn't been, there's been that other stuff going on stealing my focus, and I realize now how bad it's affected things here, or at least my ability to really focus on things and get things right, make things, like not forget stuff and stuff. And I'm taking a week off next week with my family, like not like last time when I just painted the house alone, but this time like we're going on a like holiday thing. Clear my head. See you next time.